I wish you heard Sister Erica's story. Did she share the story in this conference? I wish you heard it. She knows what I'm telling you by experience. You go look for it on the internet. She knows what to do at midnight to fly. She knows. So while you are trekking, she doesn't trek. She knows, because at that time she had the power of Satan. She had the dimension of Satan, so she knew what to do. She can't do it now again because that dimension is not there. But now she has a superior dimension.
Welcome to Remnant Online followers. Please kindly subscribe. Thank you.
Welcome to the Erica documentary, part 37. This is the continuation of the Erica documentaries. This documentary is rated 18 years and older. Parental discretion for those under 18 is advised.
Yes. Yeah, viewers. Once again, I'm so honored to share my experience with you. And I pray that as I share what I went through, you learn something from my experience as a weapon to overcome the devices of the enemy against your life. And today I'm going to talk about the Marine Kingdom. But before I talk about the Marine Kingdom, I think it's wise to start with a word of prayer.
Father, in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, Messiah, we give thanks for the gift of life and for the opportunity to share these things with the souls of men, that they may be able to put the pieces together and understand what we are up against. We apply the blood of Jesus upon every viewer, spirit, soul, and body. There shall no evil befall them, neither shall any plague come near their dwelling. I pray that as this word goes forth, the body of Christ may be edified, that Jesus may be glorified, and that the enemy may be put to shame. For it is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let me start by introducing myself. Erica Mukasi, aka Mama Maisha or Mami Zion and Zeph. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about my life from when I was 12 to when I was 18, the time that God delivered me. So there's a certain part of my life that I feel is going to help the body of Christ to understand how the kingdom or the Marine Kingdom functions. So, as I explained in the previous documentary, that not everyone that we see is 100% human. There are some people that are not 100% human. There are some people that are hybrid. They are a mixture of I don't know how to bring it out, but they are not 100% human. They are not coming from only human beings. There are people who have entered into covenant with the kingdom of darkness, and they have had children that God forbid us to have, and they have gotten entangled in relationships that God forbid us to have, and as a result they get people who are not 100% human. And in my experience of serving in the kingdom of darkness, I came across those people, and these people really disorganized my life. That's what I'm going to concentrate on. So after my primary school, I was 11. My mother took me to a single-sex school where she thought that if she took me there, she's somehow protecting me from being disturbed by the opposite sex, and also I would be able to concentrate in my academics. And I was a good performer, but the teachers had advised my mother that why I had deteriorated in my performance is because I had so much going on, so many activities and other students who were trying to divert me. So my mom took me to a single-sex school, and that's where I met that friend that I spoke about in some documentary, who was a sorcerer, and the uncle had initiated him. The uncle of that lady had a business in Mombasa, but he had entered into a covenant with the Marine Kingdom, and he dedicated her there. He covenanted her there, and she had children in the Marine Kingdom, and she was doing exploits in the kingdom of darkness. So her mission for joining secondary school is not because she was looking for a future. They already had money, but they were looking for souls. And schools, those are places that they target. Schools, universities, institutions, those are places where the enemy sends his agents to target, especially children that are coming from Christian homes. So now...
Absolutely, those are initiation grounds.
Yes. So when I joined the school, I became the class monitress because I was very active, and I challenged the director of the school because we were in class for 2 days and no teacher was attending to us. They were waiting for the other students to arrive so that we start together. Then when I spoke to the director of the school, I asked him why we are not studying and yet we are in school. And he said that we have to wait for the other students to join. And I told him it's not fair because we've come on time and we are just sitting in class doing nothing. So that's when he appointed me to be in charge and to let him know if we don't have any teacher in our class. And I became a class monitress like that. So among the students that came was a strange student. And this student, when she entered the room, it's like she really concentrated on me. I want to use her name, but because these people are so secretive and the legal implications, they have a common name that they were using. They are siblings. They were all using Muhammad, but let me use Saida. Now, when she entered in my class, the teacher told me to find her where she's going to sit and give her the rules and regulations of the class and everything that she's supposed to do and the timetable as a class monitress. When I went to this girl, she was so beautiful because she was kind of a half caste. She was half Arab, and what I didn't know is that she was not 100% human. That one I got to find out later. She had this kind of striking beauty that would attract people's attention, but instead of drawing people towards her, it would push people away from her. She was fierce. So even when she entered classroom, girls were talking, but when she entered, everyone went quiet. And for some reason, they could not tell why they were quiet all of a sudden. And she had this commanding presence that commands attention. Everybody stops what they are doing and they look at her. And for some reason, they are intimidated, but they don't know why. Yeah, so when she entered, I had nothing to do because it was my assignment as a class monitress to go and present everything to her as instructed. So when I went to her and spoke to her, gave her the timetable and everything concerning the school, she was looking at me, but she was so mean. She just grabbed everything and put in her locker, and she put her head on the desk. So I didn't want to force things. I just moved to my desk and I concentrated with my books and things that I had to do. So now I went to the dormitory. While in the dormitory, there was a young girl who was her sister that I found out that was her sister. She had also joined. They came at the same time, but she was one class lower than me. So when this girl came, she was that girl, I will use Ida. When this girl came to join us in our school, because now I was in Form 2 and with the sister, we were in Form 2, and she came to join in Form 1. And their bigger sister was in Form 3, and another one was in Form 4. I'll be telling you about everyone. So when Ida, all of them had the name Muhammad attached to their names, and they were posing like they are Muslims, but later I found out they were not Muslims. They were just using the Islamic names, and those were not their real names, but they had to identify like us, but they were not 100% human. So when this girl came, she came to our dormitory and she just looked at me and started smiling. So I kept on wondering, what is it about this girl? And every time I would look at her, then she went and sat at her friend's bed opposite to my bed, and she kept on looking at me and smiling. So in my mind, I knew that this girl wanted to be my friend, because every time I'm looking at her, she's trying to smile at me. So later, she got the guts to come and greet me because she had come to our classroom. We were having preps. We used to revise in the night. After classes, we revise and then we go back to sleep. That was the school routine. Everybody goes back to the dormitory. When we had finished revising, she came to pick her sister, and now that's how she walked to my desk. And she said, "Hi." So I was like, wow, at least she's friendly. She's not like her sister. Her sister is mean. When this girl befriended me, well, I was aware that I'm older than her, and she was also looking like she was respecting the fact that I'm older than her, but she wanted to be my friend. Yeah, so I get to know about her. I ask her name and where she was before, and we start interacting. Now we got to become friends. She introduced me to her other sisters. I had no idea that they had sisters. So she took me to a sister and then another sister. That's when I knew that there were 4 at school. And they were all very beautiful, that abnormal beauty. But now this younger one was more pretty. And then the one that was in Form 3 was also pretty in Form 4. Then this one was beautiful but cold-hearted. So
I guess Form 3 and Form 4.
Senior 4.
So that's around the 11th and 12th grade in high school.
Yeah. So now we became friends. And I knew, because I'm coming from Jinja is a place where there are half-castes. And the culture of half-castes, they like being isolated. So I thought maybe they want to be around me because we have the same background,
Half-caste is a person of mixed race.
Mixed race, yes. So I thought they just want to come because they see I'm also one of them. So they just want to create a community within the school. So I was okay with them. And now we added, I had a friend also, she was a half-caste. She was called, let me leave the name. But now we grew our community. Yeah. So now I get to now know people are slowly by slowly. This Ida girl decides that now we are going to be finding our way out of school on Fridays, and then we'll be coming back on Saturday. And how we planned it, we planned to pay the workers in the school to help us to escape and go and do whatever we have to do and then come back. The other thing I noticed, these girls had money. They were not coming to school to look for a future. They already had one, but they were coming on a mission, and the mission was to initiate other students and to sacrifice students, to do a lot of things that I later discovered. So now we started escaping. Every Friday we would escape from school, and with the help of the workers. And when we would escape, these girls had apartments. They had cars. They had everything covered for them. Whereas I was coming from a family where my parents were struggling financially. So every time I would escape, I would go to their apartment. And while I'm in their apartment, this Ida girl treated me so well. She really liked being my friend. And I would share literally everything, clothes. I just go to her room and put on whatever I want to wear. And then we go. She had all the programs. We would go to different places. Now she introduced me to the life of going to the beach, of going, to club, that kind of lifestyle, that life of going to party, So the first person who had introduced me was my auntie. Now I'm meeting this person who's my age mate almost, and now we are getting along, and now she's introducing me to another world. So we used to go to certain beaches in Entebbe, and in those beaches we would go to have fun. Like during daytime, people are swimming, others are eating, but there is music being played in the background. There are people who are playing different kinds of games, others are taking photos. So one thing I noticed, when it gets dark at the beach, especially around 7:30, there are people there who guard the area. They'll tell everyone to vacate that place where the water is, and then they go to the other side where the club is, and they so that people avoid drowning. When people are drinking and there is a water body, it's dangerous. Yeah, so this girl, whenever I would go to the beach, I found out that she knew the DJs. The DJs knew her. And she introduced me to one Kenyan celebrity who is also not 100% human. And she kept on introducing me to different DJs. She kept on introducing me to people in her circles. So now one time, as we were at the beach, her 2 sisters, the elder sisters, they went to swim. And I was seeing, when they are walking at the beach, they had this kind of beauty that would attract men. Even if you've gone with your wife, there is a certain beautiful girl that bypasses you sometimes, and then you look sometimes. So these girls had that kind of beauty that even if you're minding your business, at least you would just look. So now they walked to the beach and they decided to go swimming. And I remained with my friend Aisha with the DJs. Then I kept on looking at the elder sister, the one that was a class above. She was having fun. She had people surrounding her, people looking at her because she was very beautiful. And she had hair falling to the back and, So got to a point as they were swimming, they went far in the water. And they continued going far. And I started getting concerned. I told Aisha, your sister is going far and that place is deep. She might end up drowning. Aisha said, my sister can never drown in any water body. She can never drown. I said, but it's dangerous because people have a place where they end when they are swimming. But this one is going very far and her sister is also going very far. So I started now becoming uncomfortable, looking at my friends, they are swimming and we have escaped from school. Should anything happen, it's going to also put me in trouble. And being a class monitress, I have to be careful. Even if I'm working with them to break or violate the rules, I know that if they are to punish, I'll be punished more because I'm a leader. Yeah. So I started looking at these girls swimming. And then they had this tendency. They would look at handsome boys and they had this kind of beauty that it would be difficult for a boy to resist them because of their beauty. So they would go with these boys and they swim. But I noticed that whenever they would swim, it gets a point where they dive and you don't see them again for a very long time. And then you see them again at around 8 in the evening. They have come to join you in the club. And they are looking all nice. They are smelling fresh. They are dressed in different clothes, not the ones that they went with in the water. I would expect them to show up when they are wet, when they are, that's how I would expect them to come so that they can go to the ladies and change. Remember, I had their bags.
Hey.
Yes.
And the club is right there at the beach.
At the beach. So they come to join us, but they are all dressed up. They are smelling fresh. They have a different bag and set of clothes. It's like they have perfumes, they have lotions, they have things going on. Like, what is happening? Is there something that I'm not aware of? Did they get a boat ride? Did they get out of the water without me seeing? But I remember very well, I was there with the DJ, because the DJs are the last people to leave. And now, by the time we are going to the club, everybody has left the beach. I did not see them come out of the water, So for me, at that point, it was puzzling me. So one time I got the boldness and I asked, this thing has been happening and it's puzzling. Where do your sisters go? And when Neve comes back, she doesn't even want to come near us. She's in her own world, So what is happening? So now, when I asked Ida, she said, at the right time, you will know. We just want to make sure you're part of us. Once we have confirmed that you're part of us, we'll let you know everything. Don't worry. You will know everything. Trust me. At least me. Even if you don't trust them, you will know everything. Their lotions are so good. Their perfume smells so nice. But even if you go to any supermarket, you cannot find it. You cannot find... Their clothes are so unique. Even if you walk the whole boutiques in your area, you cannot find any cloth like that. They have everything that they have is so unique. So I kept on asking, you people, where do you work? Okay, is it that your dad is rich and he's providing? And where is your daddy working from? You have to find out, because they have everything. They are students like you, but they have apartments, they have cars, things. They have things going on in their lives. Yeah. So Ida said, you're beginning to feel uncomfortable with us, but now I am going to take you and show you. I'll first of all show you my mom. My mom is not staying here with us, but I want us to go and visit my mom. Then she said, our dad is a businessman. He's a businessman. And our dad, you will know more about him when I take you to see my mom. I'll give you the details of our dad and how we ended up here. Our dad is also not here. He's staying with the other rude sister. Yes. So we go to this beach in Entebbe. Have fun. And I'm asking her, what time are we going to go and see your mom? She said, don't worry. We'll go at around 9 to see my mom.
At night?
9 at night, yes. You go and see my mom. Don't worry. So now, when that time of partying, we are drinking, they are swimming, we are having fun. So When it gets to night time, the guards are very strict. They don't allow anybody to go in the water. But these girls have a way of going about things. Either they bribe these people or they use spells on them, and somehow them things are done the opposite. So when it got to 9, I saw the sisters diving in the water and they are swimming. And I told her, it's dangerous. It's late in the night. These girls are swimming and I know how they swim. They go very far. I told her, my friend, you're going to put me in trouble. We are supposed to go and see your mom. How are we going to wait for them and then go and see your mom? Again, they've started their things of disappearing. She said, no, it's okay. We can be here and wait for them. So we also started having fun at the beach, started having fun. And later she said, come and I show you something. So we walked in the water. We were walking, but at the beach, there is that place where you walk and the water is coming up to your legs. And then you start seeing that it's getting deeper and deeper. So when it's got to a point that the water is in our waist, I said, what do you want to show me? I'm scared. I cannot move from here because I'm not a good swimmer like you and your sisters. I cannot swim like you people. I'm not going to go deep. And that water, it brings waves, and sometimes they come and they can cover you or pull you to the extreme end. So I told her, I'm not feeling comfortable to proceed from here with you because I cannot defend myself. I don't have a life jacket, and nobody's here to save us in case I start drowning. I cannot proceed from here. So she said, it's okay. I wanted you to see 2 pillars. I said, the 2 pillars where? Here in the water? She said, yeah, there are 2 pillars that help you to discover who you are. I said, how? How can a pillar help me to discover who I am? I already know who I am, So how can a pillar help me? She said, there is a pillar on the right and a pillar on the left. Now, the pillar on the right represents you. And she told me, it represents you in your human form. Now, the pillar on the left, it represents the spiritual version of you. So she said, once you go through the pillar, you will have gone through a ritual that is going to make you to be stronger than you are in your physical being. And there are things that you can do when you're in your spiritual being that you can't do when you're in your physical being. And why you cannot swim or do things like us is because you're in your physical being. So I was like, now, where is the pillar here? She said, if you make like 2 or 3 steps, you cross the pillar and then you understand. And she said, and then there is a gate that will open, and then you also be able to open your eye, your third eye.
Oh.
So now I kept on wondering, how is a gate going to be open, and how am I going to open my third eye, and how am I going to have the spiritual me and the physical me, and how am I going to be strong like them? I could not understand her language because it was so deep. It was a spiritual language that she was using, but she convinced me. She said, you're not going to die. Just 2-3 steps is not far. So when I made the first step, I realized that I'm going down. And I made the second step, I was also going down. And then the third step, it pulled me, and I would now see like the water is here, but it's like I'm not drowning. It's like something is supporting me. And then a wave came and then it covered us. And I realized we had passed through the pillars. That time I'm getting down. So
when the water was about to cover you, did you see any pillars? Or
yes. I would feel like I'm stepping on stairs. Yeah, I'm going down and down. So when the water came to cover us, it pushed me past the pillars. There were 2 pillars on the side, one on the right and one on the left. And then I also noticed there was a star that she said that is a gate. And then there was a certain light. And she said that the third eye, it helps me to see things, but in a different way. And I'll be able to understand. I'll be able to see things differently, like them, and also now freely interact with her and her people. Yeah, so now I found myself in another world. And how I can describe this place...
You were wet when you were walking in.
Yes.
You were covered in water.
Yes.
You were even covered by the time you entered in through the 2 pillars.
Yes. But now when
once you entered that place,
through the pillar, I could not feel any water anymore on me. It's like the water was above us and we were below it. So now, I'm now coming in reality with who my friend is. And for her, she's at home.
And what did that feel like?
I was so scared. Didn't know if I've been trapped forever. Again, the second time.
The experience of transitioning from one dimension into another.
I just felt light. Like instead of drowning in the water, I was feeling like there is a force that is supporting me until we were covered.
Okay.
Yeah, because naturally, if you're not swimming, you have to drown. But now when we went there and I stepped on those steps and the water is strong and on our neck, instead of drowning, I was feeling like something is holding me, supporting me, and I'm floating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she said it is a ritual that I'm going to go through, and then I will be able now to interact with her family members.
So that was the ritual?
Yes, that was the ritual. Now, I'm now at her home. And she said, you're going to see my mom. And now, I'm seeing the steps. Now, let me describe. The steps are built like a pyramid, but we were now stepping down. And the other thing I saw is, on those steps, there's that kind of weed that grows on the steps, like it's like a soft carpet, but green. It's slippery. That weed is slippery, but it's soft. So, also, because our bodies are not wired to be there, I was feeling like I had soaked myself in water and the skin had dried, but I had not applied a lotion. So it's like a crack skin. That's the kind of skin that I had. Meanwhile, my friend was looking very pretty, because for her, she's at home. So me, I'm feeling uncomfortable. My skin is reacting to the place. And then also, I'm looking at the atmosphere. In there are cities. But these cities, the way I was seeing them, it's like the way they build, they don't paint. And everything is with rocks. So you can be in a rock, but it's a city. And it's like a world, There are activities that are going on there. So.
Cities, buildings, or?
Real buildings, like the way we are in this building inside. But the thing is, even if they're in the water is not pouring on them. They are designed places where you can see the waters, but it's not everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go to this place and she tells me to sit. It's like a dining table, but it's made of rocks, and even the chairs are from rocks. When you're just looking at it from another angle, you cannot know that that's a dining. But that place is so advanced that everything just automatically works. So I just found myself sitting there, and then they had containers or dishes where they eat. But these dishes are made out of rocks, and they are beautiful dishes. Everything there literally is made out of rock and dust. So
it looked bad?
It's not bad. It's like these are forsaken places, but everything there is advanced. It's like this when you enter, you know that these places have been here, but they have been forsaken. You can feel like, how you enter a house where people have not been. It's a beautiful house, but there has not been anybody staying there. How you feel when you're entering that place, that's how I felt when I was entering this place. So now, there's one thing that scared me. She said, now it's time for you to see my mom. And to see her mom, if where I'm sitting, if I'm to say the direction that the mom was, it was on my far end, on the right. And then on the left, there are two corridors. One that goes this side and the other that goes the other side. So she said, you're going to see my mom, then you're going to see my sister's mom, the one that is rude, my classmate. You're going to see her mom. But that one, it will depend on if my sister is willing to be your friend. Because as it is, she seems not to be interested in your friendship. I don't know why, but she takes a while to accept people in her life. She doesn't just accept people, but I'm going to convince her to be your friend. Okay. So now, the thing that shocked me, saw very handsome men in that place. They had been enslaved. Very handsome men, young men. They had been enslaved. And now that is as we were going to see her mom. These men were in chains. And some of them were free, but it's like they had forgotten who they were. And they were working and serving. They were rendering service to her mom. And she said, my mother is the mother of the sea. And many people consult with my mom for wealth. So my dad was a businessman. And he started consulting my mom for wealth. And my mom gave my dad wealth. But my dad betrayed my mom. So the dad went intimate with the sisters. And then that's how the other classmate of mine came into the picture. And when they found out, they decided that a human being cannot be the reason as to why they separate, because them they are united.
Sister.
Saida's mom. So now, when this happened, they decided that a human cannot be the reason as to why there is division among them, because they are united. So what they decided to do is to enslave him. But he had children who were 100% human, and he had children who were hybrid. And that makes them, and she said that all of them are named after their dad, and they're all called Muhammad. That's their dad's name, and that's how they are able to identify themselves, and that's how they are able to also be beneficiaries of the businesses. That even if he's not there, they are running the businesses and they are beneficiaries. They have lawyers who make sure that every child gets a percentage from the wealth, and even the women that they have to also be able to he had to be able to help their siblings, their human siblings. And she mentioned to me about her companies. And I'm going to tell you about her companies, because at some point my brother also went and worked in their company and he didn't know. And I told her to fire my brother. I said, please don't involve my brother in this. At least fire my brother and find my dad employment. And that's what they did. And they got my dad employment, and my dad was so excited he didn't know. He didn't know what we had done. Yeah, so now she explained that to me, and I started now fearing. Fear entered me. I'm like, with Majini, with people that are not people, because people have been hearing of stories of those things at the coast, people that half fish, half human, and they think it's just stories, but these things are real. These beings exist. I saw a mother sitting in a pool. I will not say it is a small swimming pool like the ones that we are used to. When we say a pool, a person can imagine a small swimming pool, but a pool in that like where we were is a world, but that looks like a pool because it's partitioned. It's the partition place that I saw water, and there's this being that is half fish and half human sitting in that water, and the tail flows all the way from where she is at the end to where we were. So she would even flap the tail and splash some water on the daughter. Now,
how big was that room?
Wasn't a room. The whole place, because it's covered, it's under, it may appear like it's a house or it's a room, but it's beyond a house. It's so huge. It's a wide place. It has many departments. It has many places you can go, and you can be in the same place and not even see each other because it's a big world under there.
Like
there are factories, there are laboratories,
So it's like a huge cave?
Yes. And everything is like, as I explained, everything is like in rocks. It's made out of rocks and dust.
What is the general color in that?
The color of the rocks? Brownish and grayish and greenish. That's the color there. And the greenish is for the water plants. Because those beings also have herbs. They manufacture cosmetics and they manufacture herbs. And I'm going to explain in details what they manufacture there and how they function both there and here. So, see, she tells me this is my mom. What scared me the most is not even just seeing a being who is half human and half tail, but what scared me is what that being was doing. I saw these men, they were serving. They had trays, they were carrying trays. And these trays were trays of hands of men. They had chopped off hands of men. And they were putting the tray on some on the right, and then there are trays that they were bringing that had babies. And this mother of the sea was mostly interested in eating the heads of these babies. When I saw this, I started now feeling like I'm going to throw up. When I started feeling like I'm going to throw up, my friend brought something but made out of a rock where I can throw up in case I'm feeling disgusted. I threw up there, and she helped me. She said, I'm going to take this vomit and pour it on the other side. The curiosity in me would not allow me to stay this side. I was like, supposing I stay this side and the mother eats me. Let me follow my friend. I followed her without telling her that I'm coming after her, because I let her walk somehow ahead of me. When I followed her, what I found again was more disgusting. She did not pour the vomit. She was taking the vomit.
She was drinking the vomit.
Yes. It was so disgusting that I came back and I sat on the table where we arrived. The first place I told you how I was given a seat. And I sat there and I started banging my head. I'm like, now what have I entered into? Where am I? When am I going back? What if she's, after the vomit, she's coming to eat me? Is this it for me? Will I ever see my people again? I started now thinking so much. And as I was thinking, then she told me, this is our family. This is my sister. Forget her aggressiveness. I brought you here because I'm interested in working with you. I have a career that I'm building there. I'm going to be a model. And I also have a cosmetics company. I have a fashion company. So I get some of my materials from here, and that's what makes my things unique. And she started explaining to me. There's that girl, the girl that I called Claudia in the other documentary. They said that girl works for us. She's the health prefect, the school. She has access to the sanitary towels. We gather all that, and then we also use it as part of the material. And then we squeeze out the blood, and we use it as part of the material. I mix with the herbs, and I do very good skin products. She said, have a laboratory. Forget about my mom and the naked men that you see. That one I'm trying to not to go in depth because I know there are children that watch.
Oh, those men were naked?
They were naked, very naked as they were born. And those men were helping them to multiply, because what they want to create a kind of children that can survive both here and there in their world. So now, if they mix with a human being, there are chances of them having a full human baby or a baby who is half tail, half human. So if they have a full human baby, after the baby has matured, they bring the baby here. And the baby lives among us and they grow. So there are some people that are not 100% human. And those are the people who are influencing in business and they are having big positions in power. They are the ones that are positioned in high places. So now, she explains to me, she says, I'm going to start now a beauty company where I'm going to bring things that I believe are going to sell. And I said, what are those? She said, I'm going to sell implants to enlarge people's body parts for women who want to have bigger breasts, bigger hips. If you want to add something to your body, I'm going to bring those implants. But how we work is this. I don't appear anywhere. Me, I'm behind the scenes. I use celebrities to be the face of my product because I don't want anybody to know that I am behind this and I am the owner of this. So even the one who poses as the owner of that company is not the owner. I pay that person to be the face company. And then she said, now I'm looking at working with you because I just liked you. I want to work with you and I'm willing to pay you and I will tell you what we want you to do for us. But for now, I'm just introducing you to who we are. So I said, okay, now what else do you collect from us? And why are you interested in blood? He said, we are not only interested in blood, we are interested in the human ovaries, the womb of a woman, because we are also interested in the fetus. We are also interested in the sperm, in the seed of a human being. We are interested in anything that leads to the life of a human being. And once we attach that to our product, there's no way they can resist because there's power in DNA. They just find themselves addicted to our product, but they don't know why. And that's what makes us to stand out in the market. Now, I said, okay, so what do you do with all these products? You say the fetus, you say the ovaries, you say the blood. How does all this work? And she showed me even the babies that they kill. She showed me how they grind those bones, how they mix it with their powder. She showed me how they make those nails, the powder for the nails. She showed me how they mix
acrylic nails.
Yes, the powder that makes some of those nails. She showed me how they get the blood, how they mix it with that some of the paint that we use for our nails, the ladies. They explained a lot about cosmetics that they create there. Not every cosmetic, but some of the cosmetic that they create from that kingdom. So the only way to know is through prayer. You pray over everything that you buy because there's no way of differentiating which one is coming from where. But one thing you have to know, any product that you see a celebrity promoting, especially those secular artists, promoting that cosmetic, they are promoting that powder, they are promoting that lipstick, they are promoting that product, just know where it's coming from because their product is very different from the normal product. It's original.
It has this expensive look and feel to it.
Yeah, so she now starts explaining and things start making sense. And she said, I'm working with celebrities and we are going to bring it. We are going to bring our items and it's going to sell. And indeed, she started a beauty company that sold. She made millions of money because the celebrities were promoting that product. But at a certain point, women started rotting. You go and they enlarge your butt, and then the butt starts rotting. The breasts start rotting because it's from the marine kingdom. So they don't show you the side effects. They show you the beauty. So, and then it's a lie because they get people who are already beautiful, people who already have the curves, and they lie to you that they also use their product. Yes, so the kingdom of darkness survives on lies. So this one who wants to be like this celebrity will also go and try the product so that they look like the celebrity. And before they know, they are rotting. Meanwhile, the more the people are dying, the more these ones are making money. And you'll be surprised. You'll be wondering why the governments are not shutting down such businesses because they are selling things that are harmful to humanity. But these people are positioned in high places. You can start a company that is making Vaseline and is shut down the next day because it has not been licensed. And yet your product is nice. But theirs that is killing people and there is evidence. There are people who are guarding it. So they are positioned in high places. So she explained this to me and she said, now, even if we have all this set up, I don't want you to think that we can be successful on our own. We need humans to be able to accomplish our visions. Because humans were given dominion there, just like we have dominion here. Because if I had not showed you the way here, you wouldn't be here. So now you have the ability to help me accomplish my vision there. And I can also work with you here.
Of course.
So now...
They need human collaborators.
Yes. Now she decided she told me, don't follow me. Let me go and talk to my sister. If she allows, you'll see her mother. Then the other sisters, as we continue, you'll get to know them. For now, you're going to only see our two mothers, and the others, they will see you. The more they trust you, the more you come back. The more they trust you, the more you come back. And when you work with us, you cannot be poor. Don't you see how we are living? We are students like you. We have our lives. We are not looking for a future like you people. You're in school trying to secure a future. For us, we already have futures. So now I said, okay, even if I'm in school looking for a future, I want you people to give my dad something to do. But again, I don't want you people to trap him. I don't want you people to trap my brother, because I only have them. If you can give my dad something that he can do, and then support me in school, and I live comfortably, then I'll be okay. So that's how one of their people, one of their relatives, decided to come and pretend that he has parked home opposite our home. And then he saw my dad and came, he greeted him, and he said, I'm looking for somebody who can help me to furnish this house and to supply pallets and different things. I want to do a contract with that person, and somebody directed me that you're good at that, so I want to give you that job. And it was a good paying job. So my dad, it was his first time to get a good paying job like that. And he said, I can't believe an Arab can speak to me so nice, because of the things I've heard about Arabs, the way they look at blacks. This man spoke to me like I'm his son, and he gave me this contract, and he gave me this money without even me delivering anything. He didn't know that I had applied for him.
Uh-huh.
But now that was to make me understand that if I work with them, my life is going to change. So let me go to the other side of that.
Please describe the mother. How did she look?
Okay. She was in between Arab and Asian.
This was the mother goddess.
Yes,
now.
very beautiful, very huge. When I'm talking about a pool, I'm not talking about a small person. I'm talking about a huge being. This is a being that is eating 12 babies in just like seconds. 12 babies. This thing is huge, but beautiful.
How huge? How tall was he, from the top of the head to the soles of the, to the bottom of the fins?
Like I explained to you, the height. You were asking me how tall is this being? If it was to stand, how tall? And I told you, like from our window.
Obviously it was for them.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
let's do that again. How tall is this being?
Third floor, like how you see the third floor window. If it's a house and it has a first, second, and third floor,
yes,
all the way down. That is how huge the thing is.
Okay.
The height. Then the size, let me estimate from here. Like from this wall, the kitchen wall, to there. So I don't know how many meters.
How wide that's the width.
The width.
So she's about as wide as the average living room.
Yes. So, and she's huge, but beautiful.
She's like 7-8 meters wide.
Yes. That's how wide. That's why I was telling you that it's not a house, even if it is a covered place. It's not a house. It's a world. It's a world that has been isolated. It's not even supposed to exist, but it's somehow there.
Okay.
So, looking at this, the way the lady was dressed, you would see, the color of a fish, somehow silver. And then that's how she's wearing a top that is not covering the navel, but it is half, and it has like scales. Those glittering scales. Yes. And here behind at the back, it's like they just cover. They just tie those. There are ropes that they just tie around the back. And then the other thing I noticed is the color is in between Asian and in between, like as if you could think it is an Indian and Arab. It was confusing. Yeah. So, said, that's their mother. That's the mother of the sea.
Did she speak? Did she say anything?
She was speaking to the daughter, but she did not speak to me. They have their own language that they speak.
So you
Yeah.
did not understand what she was saying.
And how they speak is like how you see. Have you ever seen an upset cat releasing a certain sound? Like it's upset, it wants to attack you and produces a sound like something like that.
Huh?
So that's how they speak. You can hear that they are communicating, but you cannot understand what they are communicating. The hair, it's from the head all the way it floats on the water. It has very long hair and curly, beautiful hair. So she decides that I go and see. Now the other mother has allowed me to go and see. And we go to the left side. As I explained, there is this side where my friend went and took my vomit. I've never forgotten that thing. And then we go to the extreme left. Now, I thought I had seen it all until I went that side. I regretted going there. At that point, I felt like my life stopped a bit because of the thing that I saw. Now, I see this being that down is a snake, up it's human. Down is a red snake. Up it is human. It has a golden crown, like a queen. It's sitting on its throne, and the tail covers the pool where it is. Almost the same size as the other one, but a bit smaller. Then, the hair, sometimes it would coil, and then you would see like it is forming serpentine heads. Sometimes the hair falls to the back, and it covers the pool. This thing is so scary. The tongue, when it's talking, it comes out. You can see like a normal tongue. Sometimes it splits. So it's not one. This is, I don't know how to explain. It's very scary. And then what is calming this thing down? The fact that it's in the pool with my friend, so it cannot come to attack me. My friend Ida told me, by then, she was my friend. She told me, if my sister goes there, you will not be harmed. But if my sister leaves that pool, even us, we don't go there anyhow. This thing is not friendly. And that explains to you why my sister is like that. Because that is her mom, and that is how they are. But the fact that they have allowed you to come, they have accepted you.
Okay.
When this thing saw me, it started making a certain sound. And as it started making that sound, now that's when I started, it's like it was communicating to me. But now in the spiritual realm, you're able to understand everything. You're not limited like here in the physical realm.
Okay.
Now, the other one did not communicate to me. This one here communicated to me. And the most annoying part, she was holding a very huge golden mug full of human semen, and she was drinking.
How did you know that there was semen in there?
When she was communicating, the things that she communicated to me is now how I got to understand everything that was happening. She told me that for them, they don't hide. Their mission is to kill men. Because there will be enmity between the seed of a woman and a seed of a serpent. And she said their mission is to target men. And she has daughters, adopted and biological daughters, that she has sent out to go on that mission and fulfill it for her. And she's so proud of her daughter, the one that we are studying with, because she does that mission very well. And to prove to me that she targets only men, she was drinking the semen. She was showing me the mug that has the semen. As she's producing that sound, you can understand everything that she's trying to say. And she says she attacks men in every way possible. In dreams, she attacks them. She appears like a beautiful woman, and she causes men to have those
wet dreams,
and they wake up feeling defiled, and she steals their destinies, their sweat, and their energy. She says she drinks their semen and their sweat, and she enjoys doing it. And she told me that if anybody does it for her, she's willing, even if it means to give that person the whole world to do it, she's willing to do it. Because once you accept to work for them, they enter you, and then your face is what they use to seduce men and lure them into their trap. So you've seen those celebrities that men look at and they go and start masturbating? Yeah, so she explained to me everything. And she said that they are in a position of making people powerful, successful, as long as they help them to accomplish the mission. And their mission is the enmity between their seed and the seed of a woman. And she said, and these people that come to work for them, when they are aborting, they are also helping them to accomplish whatever they are supposed to do, because they don't want any seed coming to life, any seed coming from a woman coming to life. So even in that mission, when a woman gets pregnant and they decide to abort, they are sacrificing to their kingdom. And then they survive on the life force, on the energies of those innocent souls that have been killed innocently and prematurely. And she said, we steal and rob men's destinies. And that's what we want you to also help us accomplish, because we cannot do everything on our own. We need the help of a human.
Okay.
Now, with me, I'm not interested in men. How are you people going to start using me to trap men that I'm not even interested in? I don't want relationships, because by then I was not interested in men. I don't want relationships, and I don't see how I'm going to help you.
You were still in high school anyway.
Yes, I was still in high school. And then even that, I think the enemy had wired me to promote the other agenda, the homosexuality agenda. Those days I was like a tomboy. I just started wearing heels and dresses after giving my life to Jesus. You even helped me to start wearing heels. I was not a person of heels. So now they started now telling me what they want me to do. Like their assignment for me. They started now giving me those assignments. Now I said, how am I going to do this? They said, you don't have to panic. What we are going to do, my daughters are going to show you what you're supposed to do. And when we direct you to do something, just do it for us and leave the rest for us. We'll handle. Now, when we finished talking to that mother of my friend Saida, not real name, we went back to where we were coming from.
You didn't describe her face, the appearance of this.
She was looking very pale white, like very white. I cannot say that it's a white person, because this white was abnormal. And then the other thing I had forgotten to tell you about Ida, my friend, she told me that when you proceed from where we were, going all the way, there is also another corridor that is sloping, and it's like inside there is a portal.
Ah, so it's not like these two goddesses are in the same place. By the time you go in this direction, towards another corridor, when you go through that corridor, you're entering into a portal.
Yes.
That takes you into
another place.
Okay.
So now they said to go there, I have to go on invitation. And she said that the beings that are there are very dark, not brown, but dark. And those beings are so advanced. They're the ones that create the viruses, the bacteria, the weapons that they use in war, the poisons. They create all those things, but they are not friendly.
Biological warfare.
Yes, they like enslaving. Even some of them sometimes get enslaved by those beings. So they avoid going there as much as possible, unless they need to go there. That's when they go. So those darker ones are not friendly. They are so advanced in the things of war. And the people who go there are the people that are in power. The politicians, the wives to the politicians, those first families, those are the people that go there. And said, if you go there, you'll be amazed. You'll find your leaders there. Because it's there that they choose who's going to be in power.
Thank you for watching. Please kindly like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you always get notified whenever we post a new video. And don't forget to share. Thank you.